Hey guys, Mark from the Sports Corner jumping on to give you my predictions for NFL Wildcard Weekend. Usually I give these predictions in a longer format on YouTube, but I have been sick like a dog the last few days. I'm finally feeling better to do anything, so I thought I'd jump on here and give you guys my quick predictions for this weekend. I'll give my Monday night predictions on Monday, but let's get after it. My first prediction for the Chargers and the Texans game, I like the Chargers to cover the 2.5. The Chargers have covered the spread 8 times this season when they're favored by at least 3 points. So they're covering a lot of spreads when they're favored by 3 points or less. So I really like the Chargers here. I also think they get after CJ Stroud because the Texans' offensive line is not that great. So I think the Chargers defense gets after him. I think it's close. I think the Chargers can win by a field goal. In the second game, we have the Steelers versus the Ravens. I like the under 43.5 in that game. I also lean towards the Ravens to win that game to cover, but I think the under 43.5 is the best play. 8 of the last 9 games between the Steelers and Ravens have gone under the number. So I think it's going to go under again. The Ravens are without Zay Flowers, their best wide receiver, so I think they're going to run the ball more. And the Steelers' offense is god-awful. It's just nothing. There's nothing outside of Pickens. They have a below-average running back and just an average tight end after George Pickens. And Pickens hasn't been playing that great either. So give me the under 43.5. And in the other game, the Broncos versus the Bills, I got the Bills to cover the 8.5 points. I also like the over 46.5 in this game as well. But I think this is Bo Nix's first playoff game. It's going to be all the way up there in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. And the Bills they have more playoff experience in general, more just not in Bo Nix. Allen has been here before. I think he really knows this is his year to shine, his best chance since his career to win and go to the Super Bowl. So I think it's going to be tight, but I think they do win by at least 10 points. And I think this does go over. I see this being a 24-34 kind of game or 21-31 kind of game. So give me the Bills to cover the 8.5. And then for the Eagles versus Packers game, I like the Eagles to cover the 4.5, and I like the over 45.5 in that game as well. I think the Eagles, I think it's going to be close the majority of the game, but I think the Eagles pull away. I think it's going to be a 21-27 kind of game. I think they will be tight, and the Eagles win by a game-winning touchdown, or they hold it and they win by a touchdown or 6 points. And if you think about it, if you really think about it, not be biased, who has a better roster? Who has a better quarterback? Hurts is better than Love. I don't care what anybody says. Go look at the stats. He's way better, a better dual quarterback as well. Who has the better wide receivers? It's by far the Eagles. Who has the better tight end? I would say I would take Dallas, but I can see an argument for the Packers. Who has the way better offensive line? I think half the Eagles' offensive line are either all pros or they're Pro Bowlers. So I think the Eagles, I think it's going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they pull away in the end because they're one of the best second half teams, and they win around 21-27 is my prediction. And for the next game, we have the Commanders versus the Buccaneers. I think this goes over 15.5. Each of the Buccaneers' last 4 games has gone over the number. And let's be real, the Buccaneers secondary is god-awful. It's Swiss cheese. So I think Jaden Daniels is going to be able to pass the ball, give the ball to Ertz, and give the ball to Scary Terry, and Austin Eckler, who is back from the concussion, using him as well, and him using his legs. But also, we know the Buccaneers are going to score. Mike Evans, the great running back duo, and Irving and Rashad White, and Mayfield's having a hell of a year. So I think this goes over 50.5 easily, and I will give you guys my Vikings and Rams game on Monday. So with that, guys, those are my predictions. Let's have a fun weekend. Let's make some money. Peace.